Can leadership and creativity coexist? Every organization is born with a burst of creativity, and you'll think that that aspect should be enough to make CEOs pay attention to creativity. Or once an organization is deployed, how to maintain advantage without losing the creative edge that gave birth to the organization in the first place. But the reality is that we have this process of creative genesis and followed by operational ossification once the organizations grow large. The tension between creativity and leadership points to a fundamental challenge in organizational design. Since most models of leadership emphasize control, predictability, even risk avoidance. Now, when they coexist, amazing things can happen. One of the most interesting relationships between two people who had these two attributes, leadership and creativity, was in between Steve Jobs and Edwin Land. Edwin Land, at the peak, was more famous than Jobs ever was. He advised presidents. He obviously was the CEO of Polaroid. They were very different, but one had one aspect in common. Edwin Land famously said that industry is at its best at the intersection of art and science, and this is what fascinated Jobs. But Edwin Land was a self-taught scientist. He started in Harvard with physics, dropped out, created all the science needed technology for the emergence of Polaroid. So he was a scientist who became a businessman. Jobs was a philosopher, technologist who understood business really well. And they both interacted. In fact, Steve Jobs regarded Land as a mentor. The art and science connection was the link. Land was in touch with some famous artists of the time. He even hired lots of art science majors for Polaroid, a lot from women from Smith College. Now, there are other examples. Walt Disney probably can be the one that had the most systematic approach to embedding organizational creativity in the DNA of a company. Another example could be Yvon Chouinard in Patagonia with, values leadership, leading to creative solutions that emerge organically, or Reed Hastings in Netflix, build on the idea of freedom and responsibility that giving rise to creative ideas. Now, one that could be different because it's a massive ship is Microsoft. And there you have Satya Nadella, who is transforming Microsoft culture between one of internal competition to collaborative innovation. Then you have the people who could be the creative curators. Bernard Arnault or Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy represents something very different than Jobs' Land. He has spoken a lot about creativity, providing talent with resources and freedom, give the artist a means to express their talent, and so on and so forth. Now, it's hard to come up with a list of must-haves of leadership, creativity attributes. Maybe you can list psychological safety, autonomy, diverse perspectives, tolerance for productive failure. But at the end, probably, and some of these will contradict each other. You'll find people who have one and the opposite. But creativity being an emergent property of organizational conditions is one that probably all see, and then a compelling vision that drives the process forward. The leadership creativity synergy is rare. Traditional business education in leadership does not cultivate the creativity side. But when they coexist, amazing things can happen.